All right. Kicking on off with another viewer submission here. We've got everybody's favorite little devil, Teemo, here. He's adorable. 1/1 and elusive. Whenever he strikes your opponent's Nexus, he puts 5 puff caps into their deck. Puff caps basically attach to their cards, and then when they draw a card with a puff cap on it, they take a damage. He levels up when 15 plus puff caps have been planted, and then his leveled mode is equally as adorable and doubles the number of puff caps in the opponent's deck every time it connects. We are pairing Teemo today with the Bilgewater champion Twisted Fate as kind of a utility card and top-end bomb. So one of the reasons why Twisted Fate is really good is not because of his level up condition. So Twisted Fate is a 2/2 with quick attack. You get your choice of a Destiny card when you play him. So he either replaces himself, deals a damage to everything, or deals 2 to their strongest thing and stuns it. So Twisted Fate, just an incredibly powerful champion on his own that occasionally levels when he survives to see you draw 8 cards. And then his leveled mode generally ends the game almost on the spot. So 4 mana, 3/3. The first 3 cards you play each round, he plays a Destiny card in order. He goes blue card, red card, gold card. So the rest of this deck is a lot of interactive things in Bilgewater and PNZ, like static shocks, like gotchas. One thing this deck is doing that I'm interested to see if it ends up feeling clunky is this deck has an incredible number of this card's cheaper the turn you draw it cards. So we're on Patrol Wardens and Pocket Aces and gotchas and suit ups, which I think that's almost every card that gets a discard the turn you draw it in these factions. So I'm interested to see if those cards kind of dictating when we play them, when we draw them, if that ends up feeling awkward through our sequencing here. So let's go ahead and dive into some games here with this and see if we can start to develop some opinions on it after getting some repetitions in. There are not currently skins for cards in this game, no. Wax paper. I'd be surprised that's something they do at some point, though. Yeah, I'm actually kind of surprised they haven't done cosmetics for cards yet. Alright, so I definitely don't want progress to my opening hand. I think I'd almost always mulligan suit up. Rummage might be worth keeping. Clump of Wumps makes a card I don't mind discarding. I'm a full mulligan looking for a Teemo here, I think. I'll keep Clumpy. I think we just rummage through that suit up. That's going to be too expensive to play out now. Tradesies.
What's that you got there?
Yeah, Ryan has a pretty deep pool of IP stuff they could pull from. Tradesies? So, Clump of Wumps, while the Mushroom Clouds can be useful for leveling Teemo when you have Teemo, they're also just good to discard to Xanite Urchin. So Xanite Urchin basically lets us turn these Mushroom Clouds that we generate into real cards, which is nice. Howdy, Covern. Good morning. Almost good afternoon here in Cornlandia. I think the fact that they're a Bilgewater deck means, and they have a Keg in play, means I probably want to attack before I play Clump here. Because if I play Clump out and then attack, Make It Rain could kill this and this, which I'd prefer it didn't. Electing to dome my face there as opposed to killing my unit. Playing a 3/3 out makes a lot of sense why they'd sequence that way. I might just gotcha this next turn. I have Twisted Fate to kill a Twisted Fate if they play it, so I think burning the gotcha is probably fine.
Didn't know the boss had said for you.
Don't know much, do ya?
I guess because they didn't open attacks, I could also just clump of Wumps here. Let's do that. No, they just posted their announcement and then took off for the weekend, Zach. Actual no communication or respect. Every Magic card currently exists in the quantum superposition of being both banned and unbanned. Schrodinger's ban list, exactly. So I elected to wait to play this till after combat, in part because they had the keg in play. So if I play this out while they have the barrel out and they have a Mystic Shot, their Mystic Shot can get upgraded to 3 to kill my Patrol Wardens. So I'm missing an attack with this card this turn, but I'm taking out a way that they could potentially kill it to do that.
I'm always up for a round or two.
Again, just so many little decisions like this that really add up over the course of playing. Yeah, I don't think I'm trying to rush them down so much as I'm trying to get as much value as possible on my cards. Agree with that. Now, again, this is going to cost me 3 next turn because I haven't drawn it, but I think it's right to Twisted Fate gold card their Twisted Fate here. Stop stealing my stuff. I think because I have so many cards that are cheaper when I draw them, I actually want to wait to Zonite Urchin till their turn. So that way if I draw something with a cost reduction, I can play it at that cost reduction. Someone asked about my thoughts about Teemo Fate versus Teemo Fizz. This is actually our first time playing Teemo Twisted Fate. We had played Fizz Twisted Fate before, and I thought that build felt very reasonable. But this is actually my first time playing this combination of champions.
There was a little fella asking for me.
I assume you mean OSX. Runeterra is already on iOS. It is not on OSX though. So if you have an iPad, that yeah, we could try and level Twisted Fate next turn, huh? I get to go this into this, and yeah, that's guaranteed to happen? Huh? Yeah, okay. Good catch. So I want to bank some spell mana here, and that's a perfect draw. And then I get to bank this 3 spell mana. Yeah, I don't know if they've said anything on the front of OSX support or not. League of Legends supports OSX, so I have to imagine that's something on the radar at some point.
Now this game's heating up.
Level Twisted Fate is a very tough nut to crack. Yeah. He does a lot very quickly. So I get to Teemo, which makes him blue card, so I'll get to draw a card and get a spell mana here. They are gotching, which I get to now respond to with this. Make him bigger. Leveling Twisted Fate is frequently good game, because something that's important to know too if you're new to Runeterra is that when you level a champion, all the other copies of that champion in your deck also get leveled. So even if my opponent manages to kill this leveled Twisted Fate here, the next Twisted Fate I draw is also going to be leveled, which is a big deal. I don't have to go through the work of leveling the next one again. Died as you lived, Smelly. Probably just get some Puffcat Peddlers going here. Pack their deck full of mushrooms. It's basic kind of a build their own adventure book from here.
Scream for mercy.
Oh, if mushrooms could talk.
I'll have what he's having.
Any thoughts on the new champions coming out this week? Yeah, a lot of them look sweet. I did a podcast recently. I was on the Twin Suns podcast. We talked about a bunch of Set 3 spoiler stuff. If you want to check out some of my thoughts there.
Break their legs.
So I think my plan here is go salvage into rummage here, so that way we gold card to kill this.
Been a fun guy.
Now we can do this. So gold card stuns this, so it's going to get knocked back to their bench and we don't take anything. Again, level Twisted Fate just so impossible to win through if you can't take it off the board. It's red. The red card hurts you when you go wide. The gold card hurts you when you go big.
Power of the Scout's code.
The power of the Scout's code. Yeah, this deck seems like it has good tools for leveling Twisted Fate, which is sweet. Both Progress Day and Rummage are a good combination. I'm gonna keep Clump and Zonite here. As a member of Twitch chat, I feel I must now begin calling for a ban of Twisted Fate. God bless.
Who goes there?
Please nerf, right?
These eyes see all.
Just take 2 here. That's a good observation too, honestly. The fact that Teemo is good at eating removal. I wasn't going to play Teemo out here, but the fact that I drew the suit up encourages me to do so.
Swiftly.
Fly away while you can.
Mushrooms. It's just sleeping, right?
So suit up is a permanent modifier. I forgot there were tools for balancing in this game.
An auspicious season.
You know, it kind of makes me wonder if maybe Teemo works at Wizards of the Coast, because Wizards of the Coast frequently treats their players like mushrooms. So I feel like there could be some kind of correlation there. Now, I gotta decide how I want to sequence this turn. I gotta decide if I want to try and level this right away, or if I want to... I think I'm on the level Teemo plan.
Mushrooms could talk.
I think I'm on the level Teemo plan. Yeah, I think we're just setting up, and I think I'm ditching suit up here. Gotcha. So there's currently 5 puff caps in their deck. So this'll plant 3, this'll plant 8.
Blessed by snow and
That's just
stars.
rude.
I've always been a fun guy.
I feel like I don't want to attack this in here against a Freljord deck. They're almost certainly a Fury in the North deck as well. Part of me wants to rummage, I'm just gonna, I think I'm gonna start by attacking with these and see what they do.
Why are you here?
An auspicious season. This would be a good winter.
So we lose the peddler, but we get to kill their Starlit Seer. We're up to 11 puff caps, so we can level Teemo at will here. Yeah, I think this is okay, and like drawing the chump wump here really rewards us for holding the rummages, right? Like I thought about being aggressive to dig with the rummage last turn too, but
Something
that is a big, big twisted boy. Weird they didn't attack with that. I think we just Twisted Fate and get aggressive here. Just like gold card their Twisted Fate.
fair game. Or played one.
Yeah, learning a card pool is definitely step one of picking up a new game.
All that glitters.
Keep up, keep up. Who's a good boy?
I think we clump into Rummage here and see what we get. Says quick attack, so we're gonna attack into these 2/2s just fine. Have another Make It Rain. Ugh, that's so brutal. They high rolled Twisted Fate twice. Could have maybe played around that by holding up pocket aces. I don't know, I kind of like rummaging there. Maybe I'm supposed to attack before I rummage. Is probably the sequence.
Nice!
Okay, so here's Fizz.
Oh boy, here I go!
Oh, if mushrooms could talk.
Probably.
Am I right?
Probably will end up treating Teemo here.
Lady Luck is smiling.
Opponent doesn't have a ton of direct damage. I think I just do this.
Ow! Another day in the field.
I'll pick 'em, you plan 'em, kid.
Let me at 'em.
There they go.
Okay, there's a progress day. Oh! Oh, I wasn't paying attention to their Twisted Fate. I don't know that I had sequences to... Yeah, I didn't really have anything that could change that, right? I guess we just do this. I think we're probably good, though. This is a 7-5. Yeah, I didn't have any way to kill him, but I also wasn't thinking about it, but... Yeah, there's just no way we beat this card with them having 6 cards in hand. So far, level Twisted Fate at 100% in this set.
Harder every time.
Yeah, unfortunately, they also had elusive units in their deck. So, like, if Teemo would have been able to, like, get a hit in at some point in that game, we probably could have, like, cheesed them out with mushrooms. But the fact that they had things to make Teemo not good was real awkward. Maybe I'm supposed to full mulligan this hand. The urchins are, like, good with Chump Wump, but, like, if I'm waiting till I play Chump Wump to play these, I don't have any early plays, he says before drawing Teemo. I went ahead and passed to my turn here to wait to play this. So this way, if they had a 1 damage piece of removal, I could have potentially drawn a Suit Up or a Pocket Aces this turn to defend him. I think it's right to play him out and use my resource for the turn once they don't do anything, but that was why I waited. One thing that's kind of neat about the templating in Runeterra that's a little bit different from Magic is that things like Zap that get you a specific type of card, these count as drawing that card out of your deck, which is a little different in a good way. So if I play this, I'll have 9 cards in hand. It's a really good game, D20. Really hope more of my longtime people give it a chance. I think most Magic players that give it a try will enjoy it. Honestly, the worst part about Runeterra is that it makes it hard to go back and play more Magic. Although that's probably a feature, not a bug. Just gold card, they're 3-2 here. Again, while leveling up Twisted Fate would be nice, you're mostly just playing him to generate value. We've got these Mushroom Clouds in hand now, so we'll start playing out these Zonite Urchins to churn through our deck a little bit. Yeah, I think that's the other part too, right? You know, like I hear the thing I hear from a lot of my people is like, well, I can't get financially invested in another game because they're just so used to how predatory the monetization is in games like both Hearthstone and Magic that they can't fathom that there's a card game. They can't fathom that there's a card game where that's not the norm. Well, that's not like the expectation.
Excuse you.
Gotta go with the flow.
I'm always up for a round or two. Something for all of you.
It feels too fast. You mean there's no garbage time? I consider that an incredible feature, not a bug. Magic games have an incredible amount of garbage time. It's super. That's one of the things I find most refreshing about playing Runeterra.
Looks like trouble.
Chump blocking.
Oh, if mushrooms could talk. They grow up so fast.
People don't concede enough in Magic. I think that's true, but I also think the way Magic is designed, it's difficult, especially for newer players, to really understand that they need to, like, that the game is over. Like, when new players watch blue-white control mirrors and watch players concede with, like, you know, a bunch of cards in hand and 20 life total, like, conveying to those new players why the game is over is incredibly abstract and awkward.
Sun rock got me good.
That's a good one.
Like a fish in water.
Deploying!
It's real scary. I don't really have a good answer to that.
Let's do this.
So I can smack them for a bunch here, but they're gonna get to deploy Swain next turn, and this is just gonna dominate us.
Ready, Rex?
Not yet! Good to go!
Ha! It's actually a really interesting choice as opposed to playing Swain. Think we're just playing this out. Oh, this has Overwhelm too, right? So I'm just gonna like die to that.
Filter's finest.
I assume they'll just enter combat with these. Excuse me? Okay.
Darken the skies!
Woohoo!
Yeah, I mean they've got a bunch of cards in hand, so it doesn't surprise me that we're very dead. For people that are new here, a lot of things that fly in other card game Twitch chats don't fly in my chat and are going to get you a quick 10-minute break. If you want to be critical or critique either a card we're playing or a card our opponent's playing, you need to do so in a constructive and specific manner. Don't just say card's bad. Help explain why you think the card's not very good and potentially offer up a recommendation of what we could swap it out for and why that's a good exchange. Help people learn. Don't just like drop your pants and take a dump on something that someone's put together. I know that's a lot more work than just like saying card's bad, but you know, the price of admission here. I'm definitely keeping Puffcat Peddler against Ezreal Karma. Honestly, I almost feel like I could be talked into keeping Progress Day, but I probably shouldn't. Just want to look for other cheap things. All right, our deck is convinced we want Progress Day, and I wasn't unconvinced, so, you know, we'll roll with it. Yeah, this is a deck I haven't seen for a hot second. It's our second time playing against it today. I also don't remember the username of the other person, though. So there's a good chance we like hit the same person twice over the course of 2 hours. What's going on, Orchmix? I appreciate the Prime support. I'm glad you're enjoying Runeterra. Game's a lot of fun. He's dead, Jim. You've killed him. Poor little Clumpy never stood a chance. You want turtle control sometimes? Well, it sounds like you're not playing the right style of decks. I would, unlike Magic the Gathering, Runeterra supports a diverse selection of archetypes, so if you feel like you keep playing tempo decks, I'd recommend playing a deck that's not a tempo deck.
Have a mushroom. Have 3.
Ooh, that's actually a sweet draw, so we'll go Twisted Fate blue card here. And if they try and kill this in combat, we can suit him up.
Where's the serpentine? Looks like trouble.
I thought you'd never ask.
So I missed 2 points of damage there, trying to get them, because I wanted to respond to a removal spell with suit up, but I'm definitely going to go ahead and suit up here before the turn passes, before it costs more mana.
Sounds dangerous. I'm in. Gotcha. Charge.
So next turn I'm going to have 9 mana total, which means I could level Twisted Fate if they don't kill him. Set another Thermo Beam. Super unfortunate.
I'm out.
Yeah, I could definitely see that being part of it too, Stegall. The control decks in Runeterra don't feel as miserable dominating as they do in Magic, and that's definitely a decision choice, and that's a good decision choice in my opinion. Teemo first to try and bait removal. The fact that, like, your units aren't all just going to die and you're going to actually get to do something with your cards is, like, much better experience. Like, people talking about, like, Field of the Dead and the decks that it pushes out in Historic, like, if I'm being honest, the decks that Field of the Dead pushes out in Historic, good. Those decks suck to play against.
I'm always up
If they ban Field of the Dead and, like, blue-white do-nothing control becomes a tier 1 deck in Historic, I think that's a net negative for the format.
Push on without me.
dead in their tracks.
What's going on, high card? I'm doing alright. What's going on, Xavier? If you're new to the channel, I've been playing. I stream full time here on Twitch. I've been streaming as a full-time job for going on 2.5 years now. I generally stream a ton of Magic the Gathering, but Wizards has made some less than great decisions over the course of the last year. I found my way into Runeterra and I really love it. I do at least a little bit of Runeterra content almost every single day, and I'm planning to do a ton of Runeterra content when their new set releases on Wednesday. You can find my schedule up on my website. That includes not only when I'm live, but also what I'm live with when. Ooh, Pocket Aces could protect this. We could get set up here to level this next turn, hopefully. Yeah, nailed it. Do we not want to rummage the caps last turn? So I don't really think there's a huge incentive to rummage in advance if I'm not specifically looking for something. That's unfortunate. Because remember, this is a burst spell, and spell mana rolls over turn to turn. So, generally speaking, you want to wait till, like, the last possible second to do something like this. Is what you're generally incentivized to be doing. Because of things like Puffcat Peddler, for instance, here. So because I waited on my rummage, I'm going to get 3 mushrooms out of it. I think if you have a background in any card game, whether it's Magic or Hearthstone, Runeterra is pretty easy to get into. Honestly, the tutorial in Runeterra, I think, is probably the best card game tutorial of any card game I've ever tried. They do a really good job of breaking down all the mechanics. And then once you have a little bit of a base there, it's very easy to come into streams like this one or others and ask good questions. There's lots of great people in the community that are happy to field things for you.
I've always been a fun guy.
Let's go ahead and smack him for 4 here, I think. Oh, are you talking about the turn? I think you're right that I gave up a spell man on one of the turns. I think you're right. So I'm going to go ahead and rummage now, because I can have pocket aces to... I can have pocket aces to save Zap here. I don't think I want to rummage again in response, because I have Chump Wump here in hand, and I'd much rather rummage the Mushroom Clouds than these other things I have, so just let this happen. I'm not going to burn the gotcha on this, because gotcha plus something else could potentially kill an Ezreal, which would be nice.
Ionia speaks through me.
Also kills Karma. Let's Chump Wump here to start, because if I rummage into another gotcha, that gotcha will be cheaper, which is ideal. She's going to level up into a 5/4 next turn, because they'll hit 10 mana. So I have 7 mana total here. They have 8 Puff Caps in their deck. I think I'm going to go ahead and Puff Cap Peddler and then Gotcha, so I get 6 Puff Caps off of this play. They could have something like a Twin Disciples here to protect her, which would be bad for me, but I didn't have any counterplay to that anyway, so I think it's ideal to get my Puff Caps in. Opponent's deck is a combo control deck, so if Karma levels up and then they deploy Ezreal, they can kill me very quickly, because Ezreal's leveled mode deals 2 damage every time they cast a spell, and Karma double casts all of their spells. So if they have leveled Karma and leveled Ezreal, they basically get
Skill and grace.
they basically get 4 damage per spell they cast. The Shen emote is basically the GG emote.
Within my grasp.
It's pretty aggressive. I think I'm trading here. I think I want to get more value off of these pumping caps into their deck.
Spring raindrop.
I'm so good, I surprised myself. The world's a big place. Let's see all of it.
Okay.
There they go.
Bunch of the 23 Puff Caps and 15 cards. I'm going to go ahead and Zonite Urchin here, getting rid of a salvage. So I could try and find, ideally, another Gotcha or something to kill this next turn before it hits me and makes a Mystic Shot. I assume my opponent's going to open attacks. Oh, they're Karmaing. Probably dead.
Unquenchable fire.
So I'm at 14, so they need... If all of these are spells, we're dead.
Keep up, keep up.
Oh! Oh, I could Twisted Fate AoE. Yeah, that's a good call.
The dragon's approaches.
Yeah, that's a good call. That slipped my mind. Definitely should have done that. If I lose, it's because I didn't do that.
Nothing to nothing.
I'm a peddler, not a meddler.
Let's pump some mushrooms into their deck here. So you see 2 burst spells here to kill me? Yeah, if I would have Twisted Fated, this, and this would have died, and then I wouldn't have. I wouldn't be taking damage in combat here, and we might be able to survive. Sarah just like super beaming. I guess I could have had no. My factions can't gain life, right? So they just like had lethal and just like weren't playing it. It's really annoying.
Spring, rain.
Hey, Dash Now, thanks for the brand new Prime support. I appreciate that. Welcome to Oaklandia. Thanks for keeping me employed this month. Yeah, Waffle, I actually, I've been playing more Limited than Constructed off stream while I'm just, like, waiting for the new set to drop when I'm playing Runeterra, and I really like Expeditions. Expeditions are much closer in power level to Constructed than the average Limited is in Magic. Which makes it a lot more fun on average. I mean, I tend to enjoy, like, Magic's higher powered limited formats. Things like Cube. The fact that, like, Magic from a design standpoint feels the need to, like, fill their limited full of bad cards on average is so weird to me.
Another day in the field.
I mean, Cube is limited. It's just higher power limited.
That egg. Did it move?
I'll scout ahead. Kill this.
Correct. Yeah, it's limited, made by players instead of by Wizards of the Coast trying to sell booster packs full of bad cards.
You've been down in the sump, haven't you? Swiftly. Just trying to help.
I think I'm just passing here. We'll see if they don't kill one of their things to start. We can red card and clean their board out here, which is nice.
Never lost a fair game. Or played one.
Now they could, like, eat one of their things in response here to grow this, but we're in a pretty decent spot here regardless, especially with the gotcha draw. And see, the eye tells me what's going to happen if I just click OK. I think I'm okay. Yeah, I think I'd rather gotcha the 4-3 than the 3-3. Or the 3-2 here, more specifically. Nah, I don't know that I like denying the card draw there. I think there's a good chance if I deny the card draw, rather than prioritizing keeping the board clear, I just get run down. So I think I'd prefer to just let their card draw happen. Like, they have 4 cards, I have way more cards than that. I can go ahead and trade this 2-2 for their 3-2. I can gotcha their 4-3. Seems like a fine exchange for me. I feel like they're definitely the beatdown here, and I've got more card advantage than them, so I'd much rather prioritize keeping my stuff alive. More than anything. Do I want to play this for its discount, or do I want to play Zap? I guess I could pick a card here and then level Twisted Fate next turn. Maybe I just do that. Yeah, let's do that.
from the garden. I guess you can win them all.
We need static to save Twisted Fate. No? I get to go ahead and play this, which triggers blue card and makes me mushrooms, and then my mushrooms are gonna red card plus gold card here.
What's that noise?
That's a harvest right there.
This deck is really good at leveling Twisted Fate. I didn't realize it when I was looking at the deck list to start, but like the way things are playing out, especially, like, we've been exceptional at leveling Twisted Fate so far in this set. Between the rummages and the progress days. This definitely feels like one of the better Twisted Fate decks I've played in terms of using him to level. Yeah, I think Patrol Warden is probably something I'm not super interested in.
Like a fish in water.
Something for all of you.
Are they dead? They're like pretty close to dead, right? Yeah, we're definitely about to get atrocity.
Looks like trouble.
Well, that also does it, I think. It's worth noting that if this Patrol Warden had been a Mystic Shot, we kill them here, right? We would get to Mystic Shot plus Static Shock and just, like, dome them. I think that's the change I want to make. Get a little bit of cheaper interaction. We're on the zero outer here, right?
Trust your instincts.
I'm trying to think if there's anything. I don't think there is.
Blue as the serpentine.
We'll get some Mystic Shots in here. Yeah, our deck's like got kind of an aggressive slant. Mystic Shot's a good quality piece of interaction. It's also excellent reach in late game spots like that. So like had we had Mystic Shot there, they would have just died. We would have Mystic Shotted their face plus Static Shocked their face plus red card killing them. Nah, I've liked Progress Day so far. Progress Day is part of why the decks felt good at leveling Twisted Fate. Like having like a rummage into Progress Day levels Twisted Fate very quickly. Tryndamere, eh? Probably something more controlling. I'm gonna mulligan my non-threats here. Perfect.
Prepared for anything. They'll never know what hit them. You've been down in the sump, haven't you? Eyes out ahead.
Kind of expecting Teemo to eat it here.
You to go.
Using a command to answer my question, I did it. Nailed it, Griffithson.
Have a mushroom. Have 3.
Have through. I want to Lulu Shin people. I think that sounds great. Really, really glad Shen's getting more support. So, I could deploy a champ here, but I'm only losing 1 mana if I hit end round, and they're losing 4, so I think I'm okay. I'm okay with that.
Show me mask, secure me tail, start the day.
See, chat, Chump Wump gives you words to live by. Secure your mask and your tail before you start your day. Do what you can. Stop the spread.
They grow up so fast.
I did get a spoiler card from Papa Riot. Alright, chat. Who wants to put a bunch of mushrooms in their deck? Yeah, I think I'm gonna play Clumpy here and then just like drop some mushrooms here. I'm gonna really let them know what's up, and I'm gonna blast their face too. Alright, 42 shrooms, 30 cards, let's go! Oh, yeah. Get him. Get him. I feel like I'm expecting them to interact with my board here. But, like, making them have answers for these means my Twisted Fate's more likely to go, which is nice. Yeah, I agree, Bonezone. This deck's felt super reasonable. Got a lot of nice little synergies going on in it. enjoyed what's going on here. Twitter has tagged Trump's tweet spreading misinformation about mail-in voting for violating Twitter's civic rules and election integrity. Oh, chat.
Never lost a fair game. Or played one. Eyes open.
I can't decide if them publicly tagging his nonsense as nonsense is better or worse than them kicking him off the platform. I think it might be better, but I'm also not sure. Yeah, I think it's actually better. It's definitely funnier. You're not, and you know when two decisions are close, you're going with the one that's funnier is probably reasonable, right? And hey, look, there's that progress day we were talking about that's going to level Twisted Fate here. Not that I think we really needed level Twisted Fate. They're at 41 puff caps and 28 cards at 4 life, but for good measure, I would like the level Twisted Fate. Opponent is dead to us going AFK. It's funny. It's funny because it's true. Yeah, the Twitch integrations for Runeterra are fantastic. Is it hard to learn? I don't think so. I think the tutorial does a good job of teaching you everything you need to know. My #1 recommendation, past obviously watching streams like this and getting familiar with cards yourself, is there's a bunch of optional levels in the tutorial. Make sure you play through all the challenges because they do a good job of teaching you lots of different mechanics in the game and how they tend to play out. Really get you a good feel for how the priority system works. And in some ways, not having a background in other card games will be a boon here, because like, as someone who's played a ton of Magic the Gathering, I had to unlearn a couple of like muscle memory type things coming into Runeterra. Yeah, they also give you XP working towards free stuff as well, which is great. Gangplank Thresh. So probably a control deck. I think I'm gonna full mulligan here, looking for cheaper threats. Well, poop. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest. I was actually very surprised at how new player unfriendly Teamfight Tactics was after having experienced Runeterra. I didn't really do a lot of prep for my Teamfight Tactics sponsored segment because I wanted to like kind of learn it on stream, and I was expecting it to hold my hand a little bit because Runeterra held my hand so well, and it definitely did not do that. Yeah, I had played a bit of Underlords before, like back in the day. Just pumping this up, just like using my mana here. TFT was kind of a fluke. That wasn't necessarily... Yeah, that's kind of what I got. Like, the fact that it's, like, baked into the, like, the League of Legends launcher kind of makes it feel like a little bit of an afterthought. I feel like they could really make that game a lot more new player friendly, which is like a couple little things. Like at a minimum, if they just like had a new player mode where all the timers were like 2 to 3x what they are by default, or a bot mode with no timer would be great. A bot mode with no timer would be awesome. But a longer timer to like ease into it would have been good too. What do I want to start on here? I kind of think I want to just Twisted Fate red card, because this will not only kill the spider, but putting this down to 2 toughness means it kills itself next turn and makes 1 less. Powder Monkey overall. This is likely going to die. Opponent's deck is pretty controlling, so wouldn't be surprised to see this just eat it. Yeah. So I don't want to attack with a non-elusive thing this turn, because this is going to go away anyways. So I think we just play Zap out here and then get an attack in for 2. Thresh is super scary here. He's just much bigger than anything else I can put into play. This deck's been fun because it can level Twisted Fate quickly. However, I kind of think the more I'm playing it, that it's probably worse on average than the Twisted Fizz deck. Like, the Twisted Fizz deck has, the Twisted Fizz deck has a lot more, elusives in it, which feel good. Like, this deck has a similar problem to the Twisted Fizz deck in that this deck can't really kill large things easily, but this build also feels like it struggles a little bit. This build feels like it struggles a little bit to be able to consistently get under the decks playing big things. Because, like, the Twisted Fizz deck could, like, attack past them, and this doesn't feel like it does that consistently. An okay for us.
What's that noise? Have a mushroom. Have 3.
Have 3.
Keep up, keep up.
They grow up so fast.
The main threat is the mushrooms. Maybe, like, it's tough, like, if you're not connecting with Teemo, your mushrooms aren't really a very good threat, is the issue. So, the problem with Twisted Fate is he's just so fragile. Like, it's pretty hard to keep, like, a non-fizz threat alive in Runeterra because there's just so much interaction in this game.
I'm a peddler, not a meddler.
Maybe I just want some thermo beams. Is that a card that I want? It's like, it's not quite a piece of hard removal. But it, like, can kill bigger things. What's the average price point? The overlay is amazing. Yeah, so if you click into any of the decks, the average tier 1 deck costs usually somewhere between 20 and 30 bucks to buy outright if you have absolutely nothing from it. You can click into any of the decks to find out what they cost. So, like, for example, this deck says it costs 2850 essence, which means that it costs 2,850 coins, which is $28 in coins approximately. Coins are about a penny each. There's no predatory secondary market in this game. Teemo's a good draw here. So you can just like know exactly. There's no random card back, so you can just know how much things are gonna cost.
Gotta go with the flow.
Gosh, that's super unfortunate. I was like, oh, we spiked Teemo, so like maybe we could get in here and close with mushrooms, but they have a zap now. I think I target both of these, this way if I draw Mystic Shot, I can kill Thresh with it. 1 damage to the face doesn't really do anything. This game is incredibly free-to-play friendly. I put in $0 and been playing for 2.5 weeks, and I have 5 tier 1 decks. That's an incredible metric. Like seriously, that's like phenomenal. Like I don't free-to-play anything, so I don't have like a good meter for like what things actually cost, but like that. Listen, I'm trying, okay? I bought a lot of cosmetics.
Let's do this.
Double pair for the next kill.
I have another Teemo here. Their colors don't have a ton of reach, so I think I just Twisted Fate red card, which kills their elusive, and then I'm gonna hope that this Teemo next turn can get in and we can maybe kill them with mushrooms.
Your king has returned. I rarely forget. I never forgive.
Cap on deck. I've always been a fun guy.
Yeah, you still get the Ash deck after 7 days of logging in. That was a very fortunate Make It Rain targeting.
Explosives.
So I feel like I'm so far behind here, I need to super high roll. So I think I just hope they don't have anything here. And I chump wump, put 16 mushrooms into their deck, hit them with Teemo, put a bunch of mushrooms into their deck.
Let me tail. Start the day.
I love the smell of mushrooms in the morning.
Like, they're at 16 here. I'm putting them to 12. So, like, it's not impossible to kill them with mushrooms next turn, but it's unlikely.
Buy me a flavor. Nope.
I did my best.
And Gangplank here's got overwhelmed.
Their bones will splinter. Line them up.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and ramp on this one. I liked what this was doing, and I think if you're looking for like, if you're looking for a deck that levels Twisted Fate, like leveling Twisted Fate is your kink, this definitely felt like a really sweet deck to do that with. But in terms of like raw, yeah, the deck's card draws. In terms of raw power level, I felt like, yeah, it was a little bit frail, and I felt like this Twisted Fizz variation is probably my favorite, both Twisted Fate and Fizz deck right now. Like, I like that this deck had things like this deck felt like it had more powerful things going on, and the fact that it has so many elusives really allows it to get past the bigger units better than what this other build was doing. We only been playing Runeterra for like 2 hours though, and I kind of want to play some more. I think I'm going to start an expedition on stream. Let's do that. It's been a little while since we